The disciples are terrified, and with good reason. Jesus has summoned them, Peter and James and his brother John. He has taken them up a high mountain, just him, Peter, and the two brothers. He hasn't given them a whole lot of detail, just called them to follow up this high mountain by themselves. Suddenly, light, as in, let there be light. Jesus is shining. Jesus is literally shining like the sun. And just as suddenly, it's not just Peter, the brothers, and Jesus by themselves alone. No, there are now two other figures there on the top of this mountain. Moses, Elijah. Moses, who led their ancestors out of Egypt through the Red Sea. Moses, the bringer of plagues upon Pharaoh. Moses, and Elijah too. Elijah the prophet, and according to some, the father and grandfather of all the prophets. These two others are just there all of a sudden, as if dropped out of the sky. How do they know it's Moses and Elijah? They just know the way you know things in a dream without having it spelled out for you. You just know. So is this a dream then? What is happening? Light like the sun you can't look at straight on. Light that bends your head away and scrunches your eyes shut tight. And Moses and Elijah. And then more light. A different kind of light this time. A cloud. And out of the cloud a voice. This is my son, the beloved. With him I am well pleased. Listen to him. This is not just any voice. They know that too. The way you just know things in a dream. It is the voice of the disciples are terrified, literally falling to the ground, faces in the grass and dirt, arms crossed over the top of their heads, terrified. And then they feel a touch. Get up, Jesus says, it's only me. The pyrotechnics have ceased. The heavenly visitors have departed with the voice and the shining cloud, and the disciples are left with Jesus. Only Jesus. This account of Jesus' transfiguration is found in all three of what are called the Synoptic Gospels, Mark, Matthew, and Luke. These three are called synoptic because they look at those 3 years in the life of Jesus and his disciples through the same eye, synoptic, one eye. They offer very similar, but not completely similar, narratives of Jesus' life, from his birth to his death to his resurrection. Forgive me if this covers old ground for some of you, but it is to show that this transfiguration narrative is important enough to appear in all three of the synoptics. The Gospel of John shows what could be called transfigurations of its own, different means for portraying Jesus' impact on his followers, but that, of course, is for another time. It has been and will continue to be a long road for those disciples. Even just these few short years they've been following this man who goes out ahead of them, this man who called them away from their fishing nets, their livelihoods, the man who said, "Come, follow me, and I will make you fish for people." And there was just something about him so that they couldn't say no, although technically, of course, they could have. It's been a long, strange road full of cryptic teachings, miracles, healings, a road strewn with boulders and deliberately set traps, opposition from scribes and Pharisees, scholars and teachers, their own countrymen. And then just 6 days ago, another cryptic question: who do people say that the Son of Man is? Some say John the Baptist, others Elijah, still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. And what about you? Who do you say that I am? And Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." Again, he just knows the way you know things in a dream. So has it all been a dream? And one more cryptic demand: tell no one. And they don't even have time to wrap their heads around that one before they get more mystery. This Messiah, this Son of the living God, is going to be handed over for torture, killed, and on the third day be raised. And then perhaps the most cryptic teaching of all, precisely because it's the most down to earth: if any wish to come after me, let them deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. For those who want to save their life will lose it, and those who lose their life for my sake will find it. And now 6 days later, up the mountain, bright burning light, Moses, Elijah, the voice of God, and then Jesus touching them and saying, "Don't be afraid, it's only me." What we have before us in this sequence is discipleship in miniature. No, I don't mean discipleship light or anything like that, nothing simplified or dumbed down. For in this description of Jesus and the disciples' journey over the course of about a week, we see On the Road with Jesus in all the fullness of its drama, its burning intensity, culminating in transfiguration. Jesus is transfigured before them. The literal translation of that word is the word we know as metamorphosis. Jesus undergoes metamorphosis before them. He becomes something new, is made different before them. Right before their eyes, out of the proverbial clear blue sky, he becomes something else. They have no idea what. Looking back over what they have been taught by him for the past couple of years, it begins to make a little sense, but now